You have reincarnated many times, yet you have managed to cultivate to this level in such a short period. That is already an extraordinary achievement. The attack you used just now took far too long to prepare, but its destructive power was truly astonishing. Even someone at the 6th level might be killed by it. Yi Beiqing smiled and raised her thumb in approval. But I must pay an enormous price to use it, Xiao Yan replied with a bitter smile. My physical body cannot withstand the strain. Even if I successfully unleash the technique, I will still suffer severe injuries. A knowing light flickered through Yi Beiqing's beautiful eyes. Your intentions are far too obvious, she said irritably. What do you mean, Miss Yi? Xiao Yan asked in confusion. If you wish to advance your power of possession any further, there is only one way. It seemed Yi Beiqing had seen through Xiao Yan's intentions from the very beginning. His request to spar with her had not merely been an attempt to test his strength. He had wanted to experience the terrifying power of her possession ability firsthand, while also discreetly discovering a method to improve his own. Although Xiao Yan's possession power was already formidable, it was still insignificant compared with Yi Beiqing's. Her mastery resembled a towering mountain, while he remained at its foot, gazing upward without having truly stepped onto the path. The evil sovereign possessed numerous clones. Xiao Yan did not necessarily need to imitate him, but if his possession power could advance further, it might become a true cultivation technique and combat method, just as it had for Yi Beiqing. Had Xiao Yan merely wanted to spar with her, he could have used the combat gate inside the Zichen Void Spirit Tower. However, neither the combat gate nor the illusory void could perfectly reflect every aspect of reality. Yi Beiqing's powerful possession ability was one of the Qimi clan's deepest secrets. Xiao Yan had never expected her to reveal it directly. He had only hoped to fight her in a nearly genuine battle and experience the power for himself. This concerns the secrets of the Qimi clan. If it is inconvenient for you to speak about it, then you do not need to tell me. Xiao Yan cupped his fists respectfully, making it clear that he would not force her. It concerns more than the Qimi clan's secrets. It concerns the survival of the entire clan, Yi Beiqing said. However, after everything that has happened, you have probably already guessed most of it. You are not a member of the Qimi clan, yet you possess the same power of possession. Unfortunately, this power cannot be cultivated in the same manner as one's cultivation realm. I cannot tell you its secrets, but I can make your possession power somewhat stronger. Xiao Yan immediately understood. Possession power could not be cultivated normally. Although the power within him had strengthened alongside his soul, it had never reached a higher level or undergone a true qualitative transformation. If strengthening it requires you to separate a portion of your own power and give it to me, then there is no need. You have already helped me far too much along the way. It would be shameless of me to ask for anything more. Xiao Yan cupped his fists and politely refused. At moments like this, you truly resemble the sovereign, Yi Beiqing said with an amused smile. You both value your pride far too much. If it were the evil sovereign, he would probably demand that I give him every last trace of my possession power. As soon as she finished speaking, an invisible force surged into Xiao Yan's forehead. The power of possession within his body instantly became several times stronger than before. Consider it a loan rather than a gift, Yi Beiqing said. You can return it to me after Shenxi wins the coming war. Yi Beiqing had fought beside Xiao Yan for so long. With his intelligence, how could he fail to understand what she meant? Thank you, Miss Yi. Once the war is over, I will certainly return it. Xiao Yan bowed deeply. Will you continue cultivating your physical body? Yi Beiqing asked. From what I have seen, there is no hope of a breakthrough. Continuing stubbornly would be meaningless. Physical cultivation requires time, and time is precisely what I no longer have. Xiao Yan shook his head. He had no choice but to abandon the idea. Are you preparing to return? Yi Beiqing asked. If I cannot improve any further, then returning to Shenxi is my only remaining choice. Xiao Yan nodded. Once you return, a direct confrontation with the Void Lord will probably be unavoidable. Yi Beiqing's meaning was clear. With Xiao Yan's current strength, his chances of defeating the Void Lord were not high. No matter what happens, this is Shenxi's fate, and it is also mine. If battle is unavoidable, Then I will fight. Xiao Yan knew that after coming this far, he had no choice but to face everything awaiting him. He had never expected to lose his crucial primordial spirit clone just before the Great War began. Everything appeared to be working against him. The Void Lord might not be as powerful as Yi Beiqing, but he could not be underestimated. Xiao Yan had reached the 5th level of the Shuqian Tai, the Earth Heart realm. The Void Lord, however, had once stood at the peak of the 6th level, the Heavenless realm. Before the true battle began, Xiao Yan could enter the combat gate and estimate his chances. Although he had never seen the Void Lord's true body, he had witnessed challenges against the Shuqian Tai before. By confronting a simulated version, he could at least obtain a rough result. If he could not defeat the opponent even after the opponent's cultivation had declined, how could he possibly face the Void Lord at full strength? It seems you have already formed a plan, Yi Beiqing said with a nod. Should you require assistance, I am willing to help at any time. Thank you, Miss Yi. Xiao Yan cupped his fists again. We have spent so much time together, yet you still behave so formally with me. Yi Beiqing smiled. Then I shall take my leave here. Xiao Yan bowed once more. Regardless of Yi Beiqing's true objective or how everything would end, the sincerity Xiao Yan sensed from her at that moment was enough. Take care, my dear. Yi Beiqing gazed at him with deep affection. You take care as well, Miss Yi. Xiao Yan nodded and turned his eyes away. His figure moved and vanished from the spot. After watching him leave, Yi Beiqing did not remain there for long. She rose swiftly and departed in an unknown direction. Once he had separated from Yi Beiqing, Xiao Yan activated the Soul of Void movement to ensure his safety. He had also thought carefully about inviting Shen Yuanju and the others from the mountain and sea world. Shen Huang had already promised to provide the human race with a place to live, while the situation in Shenxi remained uncertain. Xiao Yan therefore decided that inviting them now would not be wise. Should Shenxi lose the coming war, he would only drag innocent people into disaster. The road ahead was one he had to walk alone. He could not confront the Void Lord through brute strength. There was still a considerable gap between them. If he wished to win, he needed to introduce enough unpredictable factors into the battle. At present, he could arrange 3 such variables. The first was the demon refined from the Void Lord's soul. The second was Su Qian. Xiao Yan needed to find a way to reach an understanding with him, but Su Qian was also an unpredictable factor in his own right. As for the third, there was the Demon King Mo Su, who had inexplicably granted him 3 great opportunities. That one is rather interesting. While Xiao Yan considered his plans, he also began summoning Yi Tian back. Why are you calling me? Yi Tian complained. I have not had nearly enough fun yet. How much did you gain? Xiao Yan asked. When this great demon takes action, success is guaranteed, Yi Tian declared arrogantly. Naturally, I returned with a tremendous harvest. Prepare yourself. A great battle is about to begin. If we win, I will grant you freedom. Yi Tian was another variable, and one that Xiao Yan could not control. Regardless of whether he truly intended to release him, it did no harm to offer him a grand promise first. Xiao Yan had no intention of recklessly gambling everything on a single move. He wanted to make the most thorough preparations possible. Since the battle could not be avoided, he had to increase his chances of victory to their absolute limit. Every force he could think of had to be placed where it would be most useful. The battle concerned not only his own life and death, but also the survival of Shenxi. Xiao Yan had faced countless wars throughout his cultivation journey, but a conflict involving the fate of an entire world still filled him with tension. He could accept defeat. He could even accept death. What truly frightened him was the burden he carried. The Empress had paid an unimaginable price to delay the enemy. If Xiao Yan failed, every sacrifice she had made would be wasted. A ruthless light appeared in his eyes. Huacan was the cause of everything. No matter how much Huacan attempted to compensate him, it would never be enough unless he personally descended into Shenxi and helped kill the Void Lord. Only then might the hatred between them finally be settled. Even the 3 sword energies Huacan had left on the eastern extremity ship were far from sufficient. Losing his primordial spirit clone had brought both advantages and disadvantages. The loss had forced Xiao Yan to break through to the Earth Heart realm. It had also caused the nirvana flame that had long remained dormant inside him to submit completely, becoming his strongest method. Combined with his soul attacks, Xiao Yan's present combat power was no weaker than before. In some respects, it was even stronger. Nevertheless, having the primordial spirit clone would have been better. With a clone, he could have condensed the nirvana lotus without hesitation, rather than forming a nirvana fire lotus powerful enough to leave himself half dead. Yitian, feed this golden cicada clone until it is completely full. What a waste. After the coming battle, there will be countless demons for you. Xiao Yan sent the golden cicada clone away to devour demons and increase its strength. From that moment onward, the abilities once possessed by his primordial spirit clone could no longer be used by Xiao Yan's true body. The heavenly sovereign pillar remained in his possession, but he could no longer unleash its rightful combat power. While waiting for Yi Tian to return, Xiao Yan considered his next destination. He decided to meet the demon king Mo Su first and discover what the man truly wanted. Since Mo Su had already given him 3 great opportunities, perhaps Xiao Yan could obtain even more from him. A jade book appeared in Xiao Yan's palm. The recent incident had cost him his primordial spirit clone, but the Palm Extermination Division's other members were not harmless opponents either. Xiao Yan did not know whether his next idea would work, but it was worth attempting. Through the jade book, he sent a message to 1. He wanted to speak with 8 alone. The Palm Extermination Division treated the 9 realms as its playground. The countless living beings within those realms were merely performers, while the division's members sat above them as spectators. Before meeting 8, however, Xiao Yan first asked 1 a question. What is 8's true identity? Is he also a member of the Palm Extermination Division? Yes. 1 answered without hesitation. Xiao Yan had not expected such a direct response. It proved that 1 possessed detailed knowledge of everyone within the Chaos Divine Realm. Then I must trouble you to help me. I wish to speak with him alone. Since 1 had answered so plainly, Xiao Yan had no further reason to doubt him. If 1 intended to deceive him, there would have been no need to provide such an immediate answer. Xiao Yan waited for a moment, but the jade book showed no reaction. 8 had not responded. Only after a long silence did 1's voice emerge from the jade book. He has not answered. Very well. Please notify me when he does. Thank you. Xiao Yan spoke sincerely. No matter what 1's objective might be, the man had helped him repeatedly. Xiao Yan would not neglect basic courtesy. Polite people are rarely cursed with poor fortune, 1 replied. Enter the Chaos Divine Realm. I have something to discuss with you. Xiao Yan had failed to obtain an invitation from 8, but 1 had invited him instead. Very well. His consciousness immediately entered the domain within the jade book. Inside the Chaos Divine Realm, only the stone platforms belonging to 1 and 9 displayed faint blue figures. What did you wish to discuss? Xiao Yan asked softly. Did you seek 8 because you intend to move against the Palm Extermination Division? 1's deep voice echoed slowly. Xiao Yan's heart trembled. The idea had not yet fully formed in his own mind. He had never revealed even the slightest trace of it through his words, yet 1 had directly exposed the thought before it had matured. Should the Palm Extermination Division not be destroyed? Xiao Yan asked. They toy with the 9 realms as though every living being within them exists merely for their amusement. Do you know who stands behind the Palm Extermination Division? 1 asked in return. I have heard of an existence known as the Divine Palm Envoy, Xiao Yan replied. So you do possess some knowledge. However, that is merely a title. Do you know how powerful the Divine Palm Envoy truly is? No. I have only heard the name. The enemy you currently face is merely at the 6th level. By attacking the Palm Extermination Division, do you intend to provoke an existence above the 6th level? 1 paused before continuing. I am merely warning you. I will not interfere with whatever decision you make. Xiao Yan was astonished. Judging from 1's words, the strongest members of the Palm Extermination Division were only at the 6th level. The Divine Palm Envoy who had killed Xu Yan, however, possessed strength surpassing the 6th level. But something must be done, Xiao Yan said. If they are allowed to continue, the 9 realms will never know peace. His hatred toward the Palm Extermination Division had reached its peak after they schemed against his primordial spirit clone. Act according to your own judgment. I am only providing you with information. One's warning made Xiao Yan understand that an even greater power stood above the Palm Extermination Division. With Xiao Yan's current combat strength, he could not shake that power. Acting carelessly would only draw disaster upon himself. Apart from me, is there anyone else in this gathering who once belonged to the Palm Extermination Division? Xiao Yan asked. There was once such a person, but not anymore, one replied in his heavy voice. What does that mean? One seemed to be deliberately speaking in riddles. The answer, however, was not especially difficult to guess. Since Xiao Yan had entered the Chaos Divine Realm, two figures had disappeared. The first was formerly known as the Lord of Illusory Dreams, though Xiao Yan no longer knew what identity currently possessed. The second was Xu Yan, whom the Palm Extermination Division had recently killed. Someone destroyed within the Chaos Divine Realm would not truly die, would they? Xiao Yan asked with a frown. They would, but they also would not, one answered. Black lines almost appeared across Xiao Yan's forehead beneath his blue shadow. What exactly does that mean? He pressed. There are variables, and there are methods. Nothing is ever absolute. The answer remained ambiguous, but it pointed Xiao Yan toward a possible path. Let us end the discussion here. One seemed unwilling to say anything further. He apparently wished for Xiao Yan to reach the remaining conclusions himself. Thank you. Xiao Yan did not press him. One had already revealed a great deal. Some matters could not be stated directly, and had to be understood through contemplation. Xiao Yan's consciousness returned to his body. The moment he opened his eyes, he found a face so close that it was nearly touching his own. What are you doing? He asked. Resting with my eyes closed, Xiao Yan answered flatly. The strange and sinister face belonged to Yi Tian. Your soul was not even inside your body just now, Yi Tian cursed. How can I kill you? Xiao Yan pushed Yi Tian's face away. This great demon cannot be killed, Yi Tian replied with a cold snort. Apart from the 9 realms, where else have you been? Xiao Yan changed the subject. He wanted to test whether Yi Tian could also enter and leave the Chaos Divine Realm. I have visited countless places. There are far too many for me to remember. Worlds have risen, fallen and replaced one another, yet this great demon remains unchanged. I have always been myself. Yi Tian sounded incomparably proud. He spoke as though he were an eternal stone standing amid the countless worlds, truly immortal, beyond destruction and untouched by the river of time. There must still be places you have never visited, Xiao Yan murmured. Places filled with powerful existences who might actually be able to kill you. You are talking nonsense again. I have been to more places than you can imagine. Even before you entered reincarnation, countless people tried to kill me. What happened to them? Some died, some scattered, and the rest became nothing but ashes. Yet this great demon remains. I still command the winds and clouds, and I am still the greatest demon beneath the heavens. As Yi Tian spoke, his figure appeared to become taller and more imposing. Have you ever heard of chaos? Xiao Yan asked. Chaos? What kind of chaos? A world named chaos? Such worlds naturally exist, but I cannot remember them clearly. Yi Tian's reply made Xiao Yan rub his forehead. It appeared Yi Tian was probably not connected to the Chaos Divine Realm. Nevertheless, Xiao Yan could not be completely certain. The suspicion only flashed briefly through his mind, but it was not impossible. Yi Tian was immortal, indestructible and utterly deranged. His behavior bore a striking resemblance to the madman of the Palm Extermination Division. If Yi Tian entered the Chaos Divine Realm while hidden inside the soul-suppressing banner, Xiao Yan might not notice at all. With the Mask of 7 Lives and the Phantom Robe, Yi Tian could appear in an entirely illusory form, emitting no aura and leaving no trace that could be locked onto. Although one had explained that the Divine Palm Envoy stood behind the Palm Extermination Division, Xiao Yan still intended to continue with his plan. He simply needed to act more discreetly and avoid being excessively aggressive. During the next gathering of the Chaos Divine Realm, he would seek aid again and attempt to make progress. Enough. Return to the soul-suppressing banner. I am leaving this sword. Xiao Yan stopped asking questions, though his vigilance toward Yi Tian had increased. I hope he is not merely pretending to be foolish in front of me, Xiao Yan murmured after placing Yi Tian inside the banner. I hope he truly is that foolish. To confirm the matter, he needed to find someone familiar with Yi Tian. Only then could he determine whether Yi Tian's madness was genuine or an act. Of course, Yi Tian already resembled the lunatics of the Palm Extermination Division in many ways. He rarely relied on schemes or strategy. He simply did whatever entered his mind, caring only that he did not violate certain rules. Xiao Yan still had many questions about Shu Yan's death at the hands of the Divine Palm Envoy. What rule had Shu Yan broken to provoke the envoy into personally striking him down? Had Shu Yan directly intervened and killed someone? Or had he violated some other hidden taboo that Xiao Yan knew nothing about? Xiao Yan had only glimpsed a small portion of the Palm Extermination Division's true nature. It was too early to form a definite conclusion. There would be no harm in observing them further before taking action. For now, he decided to leave the ancient immortal demon's sword and travel to the Western Heaven Mystic Realm to meet the Demon King Mo Su. He needed to prepare thoroughly rather than rushing back to Shenxi. Meanwhile, within the supreme realm of the Nine Heavens Divine World, Yi Beiqing's figure suddenly appeared inside a white jade hall. She stepped forward and entered the palace suspended at the highest point of the realm. It was where Hua Ken resided. The palace should have been a sacred land filled with immortal mist and flowing radiance. Instead, an indescribable air of decay and approaching death now covered it. A figure sat cross-legged at the center. It was Hua Ken. However, the man before Yi Beiqing was completely different from the handsome and commanding ruler of the Nine Heavens Divine World she remembered. His once flowing black hair had become withered like autumn grass, streaked with glaring white. His formerly upright body was now hunched, as though he carried the weight of countless armies upon his shoulders. Most shocking of all were the deep lines covering his face. They were scars left by the erosion of time and some unimaginably powerful force. His skin had lost all luster and now possessed the dull grayish-white texture of aged jade. Yi Beiqing moved forward on her delicate bare feet, seemingly seeing through everything as she stopped several paces in front of Hua Ken. She observed him silently for a moment before her clear voice broke the silence of the white jade hall. I never imagined that the proud Nine-Yang heavenly sovereign would one day be reduced to such a miserable state. Did you cross countless worlds merely to laugh at me? Hua Ken asked. His eyes remained closed. He did not need to open them to know who had arrived. It is rather amusing, Yi Beiqing replied, covering her mouth as she laughed like the ringing of silver bells. However, there is no need for you to continue pretending in front of me, heavenly sovereign. What do you mean? Hua Ken asked coldly. You directed this entire performance yourself, and even the Palm Extermination Division appeared within it. I must admit that the heavenly sovereign is truly capable of anything. Yi Beiqing's voice echoed softly through the hall. You did all this merely to plant a seed within the sovereign's heart. You were even willing to pay such an enormous price and sacrifice your immortality. Hua Ken fell silent. In the end, both you and I have our own objectives, he said after a while. Our methods are simply different. Is there truly any distinction between us? Do you know the greatest difference between us? Yi Beiqing asked gently. Hua Ken did not answer. He could already tell that Yi Beiqing was preparing to say something infuriating. Yet she deliberately remained silent, refusing to continue until he asked. What difference? Hua Ken finally demanded through clenched teeth. Hee. The difference is that I would never do something so foolish. Yi Beiqing smiled. However, I also do not believe the heavenly sovereign would truly do something this foolish. That is why I came here. The entire matter feels extremely suspicious. She stared at Hua Ken's hunched figure with great interest, as though attempting to pierce through every conspiracy and scheme hidden within him. This body of yours appears to have less than 1,000 years of life remaining. How could the heavenly sovereign possibly use such a reckless technique? Her eyes narrowed slightly. Therefore, the person sitting before me must be a fake. Am I correct? Yi Beiqing did not attempt to conceal her suspicion. There are only the two of us here, Hua Ken said darkly. With the wisdom of the Qimi clan, can you truly not determine whether I am real or false? Neither your soul nor your physical body reveals the slightest flaw, Yi Beiqing replied. However, ever since I first met you, I have known that although you are far less intelligent than the sovereign, you have always attempted to imitate him. Her smile deepened. An arrogant and self-righteous man like you would never make such a decision. Everything I sense tells me that you are real, yet everything you have done feels far too false. I have heard of a certain pill, she continued. After consuming it, one can separate a clone that is completely indistinguishable from the original body. That clone can replace the true body and endure every consequence on its behalf. Yi Beiqing's voice continued to reverberate through the vast palace. I wonder whether my guess is correct, Heavenly Sovereign. Huakan remained seated in silence for a long time. And what will you do if I tell you that you are wrong? He finally asked. He could simply continue denying everything. That is easy. I will tell the sovereign what I have discovered and allow him to consider it for himself. Yi Beiqing smiled calmly. With his intelligence, I believe he will be far more capable than I am of determining the truth. Huakan gave no indication whether her threat concerned him. Speak, he said at last. Why have you come here? I have no particular purpose. I only came to see how miserable you look, Yi Beiqing said. With that, she turned around and prepared to leave. She truly had come only to see what kind of backlash Huakan had suffered. Your mouth might as well have been soaked in venom. Even when you love or hate someone, must you draw such a clear line between them? Huakan erupted into a violent fit of coughing, seemingly infuriated by Yi Beiqing's words. I know that my clan once became lost in obsession and committed many wrongs, but now that misfortune has fallen upon me, I can finally see people clearly. Some deserve respect, while others remain petty villains even after becoming gods. Scheme all you like, but using such crude tricks against His Excellency may cost you far more than you gain. Let me offer you one piece of sincere advice. Otherwise, the title of Heavenly Sovereign may cease to exist in the 9 heavens divine realm. Do not be fooled by His Excellency's courteous appearance. He holds grudges. That is all I have to say. With your intelligence, you will probably need some time to understand it. Think carefully, you fool. Yi Beiqing had belittled Huakan until he seemed utterly worthless. After saying her piece, she could no longer be bothered to speak with him. She stepped forward and vanished abruptly. Huakan watched her disappear, a strange light flickering within his aged eyes. Why should I believe the words of a madwoman? He is still far from becoming the reincarnated excellency. The seed has already been planted in his heart. Sooner or later, it will take root and grow. Huakan snorted dismissively before slowly closing his eyes. Elsewhere, Xiao Yan's figure gradually emerged from the distorted void. He had arrived in the Western Heaven Mystic Realm, a place entirely different from the ancient immortal demon realm. An inexplicable sense of oppression seemed to hang over everything. Xiao Yan randomly selected a star and descended upon it to investigate. What he saw immediately surprised him. Members of the demon race had been reduced to mounts and forced laborers. The cities were controlled by the so-called divine race, while the demons were completely suppressed. The difference in status between the two races was painfully obvious. The exalted gods of the myriad Buddha's divine kingdom had oppressed the demon race until they were left with almost no room to survive. As Xiao Yan continued observing the city, a strand of divine consciousness entered his soul. Welcome to the Western Heaven Mystic Realm, Your Excellency. I am unable to greet you personally. Please come to the Divine Demon Auction House. I will be waiting for you there. The voice had appeared without warning. Xiao Yan raised an eyebrow. His current soul realm had reached an extraordinary level. Even when he stood among a sea of people, no one could perceive him. Not even an earthly immortal could detect his presence. A divine immortal would need exceptionally powerful soul strength and extraordinary talent to sense him. At the level of an earthly immortal, one's desires were no longer limited by ordinary boundaries. After reaching the divine immortal realm, only experts of equal cultivation could truly perceive one another. Those who had reached such heights would not normally lower themselves to slaughter insignificant beings unless special circumstances forced them to act. After pausing briefly, Xiao Yan withdrew from the city and activated the void-traveling soul. The atmosphere inside the divine demon auction house was feverish, almost frenzied. However, nearly every seat near the front was occupied by powerful members of the divine race. Even influential demons did not dare reveal themselves openly. Tong Yao Nantian had apparently visited this place before, and Immortal Crane also enjoyed searching for treasures here. Xiao Yan, however, felt no interest in most of the auction items. There were now far too few things capable of catching his attention, and such treasures were almost impossible to find in an ordinary auction house. Xiao Yan was soon led into a pavilion constructed entirely from crystal. It offered an exceptional view overlooking the entire auction hall. A moment later, another figure entered. Xiao Yan immediately fixed his gaze upon the newcomer, his pupils narrowing slightly. He had not expected the person appearing before him to be Chu Jiangye. "Greetings, Your Excellency," Chu Jiangye said respectfully. Xiao Yan raised an eyebrow. He found the situation rather strange. Had Chu Jiangye not already been taken away by Huacan? The one before you is merely a manifestation formed from a strand of demonic energy. Please forgive the unusual appearance, Your Excellency. Chu Jiangye cupped his hands respectfully. That meant the being who had previously attacked Xiao Yan had also been a manifestation created from a strand of demonic energy. Please listen while I explain everything, Your Excellency. You must have already noticed that the demon race in the Western Heaven Mystic Realm is being suppressed by the divine race. My body was torn into several parts, each of which was suppressed and sealed upon a different star. I sincerely apologize for attacking you before. I did so only to draw you here in secret. Chu Jiangye's expression was filled with sorrow. He seemed afraid that Xiao Yan would turn around and leave before hearing him out. "What do you want from me, Demon King?" Xiao Yan asked in a deep voice. "You misunderstand me, Your Excellency. There is nothing you need to do for me immediately. I know that the Shenxi world is currently facing an invasion from Taishu. According to the information I have gathered, several divine factions from the Western Heaven Mystic Realm have also become involved. If Your Excellency is willing to cooperate, the demon race will offer Shenxi its full support." Xiao Yan frowned slightly. Chu Jiangye was proposing an exchange. After the demon race helped Shenxi defeat Taishu, Shenxi would then help the demons overthrow the divine race. "You want Shenxi to win its war first, and then assist the demon race in winning yours," Xiao Yan said thoughtfully. "As expected of Your Excellency. You understood my intention immediately." Chu Jiangye nodded. These bald donkeys call themselves gods, yet their behavior is utterly shameless. Wherever oppression exists, resistance will inevitably follow. Is Your Excellency willing to accept my proposal? His meaning was perfectly clear. The demon race is currently being suppressed by the divine race. How much strength can you truly offer Shenxi? Xiao Yan asked. A war between worlds will inevitably cause countless deaths. It may even damage the very foundations of your race. Is this exchange truly worth the price? He was not unwilling to accept their aid. If the demons of the Western Heaven Mystic Realm could support Shenxi, it would naturally be beneficial. However, this kind of alliance was inherently unfair. There was no accurate way to determine how much effort either side would contribute. Your Excellency may rest assured. As the Demon King, I have the authority to make this decision. As for how much strength we can offer, you will see it on the battlefield. Although I am sealed, I will still act whenever Your Excellency requires me, even if doing so means enduring further suppression and torment from the divine race. Chu Jiangye spoke with unwavering determination. Xiao Yan fell silent as he weighed the advantages and disadvantages. What does Shenxi receive in return? You need only help the demon race accomplish one thing. I have heard that Your Excellency possesses a unique spiritual sphere capable of breaking special seals. Only its power can release me. Once Shenxi emerges victorious, help me break the seal. When this demon king regains freedom, I will make those bald-headed gods repay everything with blood. Chu Jiangye's voice was cold and resolute. His expression suddenly changed. This is bad. Those bald donkeys have noticed something. You must leave immediately, Your Excellency. There is no need to answer me now. When you require my assistance, activate the Demon King's energy I placed within your body. I will know immediately. Before Xiao Yan could respond, Chu Jiangya's figure exploded into a wisp of white energy and vanished from the crystal pavilion. Xiao Yan did not hesitate. He activated his soul power, transferred himself into the Violet Star Ethereal Tower, and escaped through the World Tree. Not long after his departure, a graceful woman arrived at the Divine Demon Auction House. She raised her hand and waved it gently. A hazy image appeared within the crystal pavilion, but it was so blurred that the figure's identity could not be discerned. Only traces of demonic energy remained. Ma Shu still dares to interfere with the outside world. She truly seeks death. A green lotus appeared beneath the woman's feet. She took a single step and disappeared. Inside a dark cavern, the graceful woman appeared in a plain and elegant dress. Her refined appearance resembled that of an immortal maiden, making her seem entirely out of place within the gloomy prison. You little wretch, continue torturing me as much as you like. This king is not afraid. Are you still refusing to confess? You secretly contacted the outside world. Do you truly believe someone can rescue you? You divine beings may seal me for 1,000 years or 10,000 years, but you had better prepare yourselves. I can wait, but once I escape, none of you will survive. A white head floated within the cavern, baring its teeth like a deranged beast. Then I will destroy you completely. The graceful woman snorted and waved her sleeve. A golden Buddha statue immediately appeared inside the cavern, releasing an endless stream of brilliant golden light. The white-headed Ma Shu reacted as though she were a ghost exposed to sunlight. Her skin began to burn, producing a harsh sizzling sound. It hurts. It hurts so wonderfully. Take that thing away. I was wrong. I will kneel and kowtow to you if that is what you want. Stop using that thing to torture me. I beg you, immortal maiden. Ma Shu pleaded shamelessly, but the woman ignored her. Do you truly believe your actions can be hidden from my master? You have repeatedly crossed the divine race's boundaries. Death is the only fate awaiting you. The woman's delicate brows drew together. Although her tone was fierce, she still possessed the elegant purity of a lotus flower. Then bring your master here. I will kneel before her and apologize. I will do anything she wants. Ma Shu's complete lack of dignity caused an even deeper look of displeasure to appear on Maya Lionhua's beautiful face. My master will never meet you. You lost, Ma Shu. The Western Heaven mystic realm has been without demonic unrest for thousands of years. Countless divine beings and demons died in the ancient war, and all of it happened because of you. Do you still not understand? You were the cause of everything. Maya Lionhua swept her sleeve and shouted angrily. I understand. Is it too late to apologize now? Ma Shu nodded as though she did not care in the slightest. As for the demon race, I see no problem. When one demon dies, we can produce 10 more. Trading 10 demons for one god is still worthwhile. One day, the demons will stuff the gods into their mouths and chew them into pieces. The taste will surely be magnificent. As Ma Shu spoke, she seemed to imagine the scene and became visibly delighted. You remain hopelessly obsessed. Die! Maya Lionhua activated the golden Buddha statue. The golden light intensified, causing Ma Shu to howl in agony. I admit my mistake. I admit it. You can apologize to your mother. Aren't you supposed to be a holy sovereign of the divine race? How can you curse at someone? Cursing you is the gentlest thing I could do. Harder. Put more strength into it, holy sovereign. For a moment, even Maya Lionhua could not tell whether Ma Shu was screaming in pain or enjoying herself. In the end, she left furiously. It was obvious that the divine race had no effective way to deal with Ma Shu. They were unable to kill her, yet they did not dare release her. These detestable gods do not dare kill this king. They fear that I will reincarnate and return, so they designed this formation to trap and torture me. No matter. His Excellency has already met me. As long as I help him without regard for the cost, I will eventually move his heart and convince him to break the sealing formation created by those bald donkeys. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan returned to the mountain and sea world. After repeatedly using world-traveling techniques, the violent spatial tearing had left him dizzy. His soul felt as though it were continuously sinking. He traveled toward the dragon nest in search of Shenhuang and appeared directly above it. When he looked down, the sight below was almost unbearable to watch. Shenhuang was working vigorously, while passionate cries continuously echoed around him. "My king, you cannot become distracted at a moment like this. Continue. We must multiply the dragon bloodline. The more descendants we produce, the better. Only then can our race grow stronger." Shenhuang was drenched in sweat. The task did not appear easy. Xiao Yan turned his back and coughed awkwardly. "Brother Shenhuang, I have something to discuss with you." "So it is Brother Xiao Yan. I thought we might not meet again for a very long time." Shenhuang instantly appeared before Xiao Yan and patted him on the shoulder. Xiao Yan raised an eyebrow after accidentally seeing something he should not have seen. Humans are rather reserved. "Dragon King, perhaps you should put on some clothes before we talk." Shenhuang nodded repeatedly. A domineering suit of scaled armor immediately appeared over his body. "What assistance do you require, Brother Xiao Yan? The mountain and sea world will never refuse you." Xiao Yan smiled faintly before looking at him seriously. "War between Shenxi and Taishu is approaching. I hope you can do something for me. If you need me, I can travel to Shenxi and fight at any time." Shenhuang struck his chest confidently. "That is not what I am asking." Xiao Yan cupped his hands solemnly. "No matter what happens to Shenxi, should some unexpected disaster occur, please protect Long Yi." Shenhuang immediately reached forward and helped him straighten up. "Brother Xiao Yan, there is no need for such formality. Long Yi has acknowledged me as his master, so I will naturally protect him. However, I also have something for which I require your assistance." Xuanhuang's expression became extremely serious. "Speak freely, Brother Shenhuang. Long Yi appears to take after you. The dragon race has so many excellent bloodlines, yet he refuses to approach any of them. He even drives them away. I have explained to him many times that continuing one's bloodline is the foundation of strength. He should already be mature enough. Perhaps you should persuade him." Xiao Yan had expected something serious. A bitter smile immediately appeared on his face. "Brother Shenhuang, you should not force him. If he is unwilling, it probably means someone already occupies his heart. As for the great task of reproducing the dragon race, I believe you alone are more than sufficient. Let Long Yi do what he wishes. There is no need to pressure him." Long Yi had always remembered Qiu, the little creature who used to lie in his arms and eat medicinal pills. However, given Long Yi's personality, he likely did not even understand such feelings. "Brother Shenhuang, have arrangements been made for the humans?" Xiao Yan asked. "Yes, but a minor complication has arisen. The humans inside the mirror realm refuse to leave." Shenhuang sounded somewhat helpless. "May I enter and speak with them?" "Of course. You may enter whenever you wish." Shenhuang immediately opened the passage leading into the mirror realm. Xiao Yan entered, traveled through the city, and arrived at the imperial palace. Inside the great hall, he found a solitary figure. "Brother Shenyuan, it has been a long time." Xiao Yan cupped his hands. "Brother Xiao Yan, you have finally come." Shenyuan Zhu stepped forward as though he had been waiting for a long time. "Why are you unwilling to leave?" Xiao Yan asked. "See? I told you they would not believe me," Shenhuang said, shrugging. "They do not trust the dragon race's medicinal treasures, while I would never lower myself to consuming theirs." "Brother Xiao Yan, does your earlier promise still stand?" Shenyuan Zhu asked. "Will you allow us to leave the mountain and sea world?" He had remained there solely to wait for Xiao Yan. "Of course. However, I must tell you the truth, Brother Shenyuan. Shenxi is currently facing an extremely complicated situation. An outside world has invaded us. Traveling there now will be exceptionally dangerous. I, Shenyuan Zhu, am willing to fight for Shenxi." Shenyuan Zhu looked directly at Xiao Yan. "If Shenxi wins, allow me to become one of its living spirits. That will be enough." He had clearly made up his mind to leave the mountain and sea world. Xiao Yan looked at the determined man before him with some surprise. Brother Xiao Yan, you made a promise before. Do you intend to break it now? I do not fear death. If I can fight for Shenxi, then that would be a fortunate fate. It is still better than remaining trapped and humiliated within the mountain and sea world. Seeing Xiao Yan hesitate, Shen Yuanzhu spoke once more. Since you have made your decision, Shenxi will naturally welcome you. I can represent Shenxi and promise that it will accept you. Xiao Yan cupped his hands in return and agreed. However, it appears the Dragon King is unwilling to let us leave. Shen Yuanzhu turned toward Shen Huang. The dragon race did not participate in the oppression within the mirror realm, but neither did it stop it. By remaining silent, you allowed other races to raise humans as livestock and consume them. The mountain and sea world has always followed the law of the strong devouring the weak, Shen Huang replied without restraint. Its hierarchy is absolute. Countless races disappear every moment, while countless new races are born. Only the strongest survive here. There has never been only one path to survival. His words were harsh, but they reflected the unchanging law of the mountain and sea world. Even the dragon race does not interfere without reason. Only through such struggle can the mountain and sea world continue growing and produce stronger races and experts. Well said, Dragon King. Your reasoning is indeed sound. Shen Yuanzhu sneered coldly. He held no favorable feelings toward Shen Huang. Countless demonic beasts considered humans food, and the dragon race had not been entirely uninvolved. I will return to the mountain and sea world. When that day comes, I will erase every race that feeds upon humans. Shen Yuanzhu's voice was chilling. Xuanhuang's sharp brows rose violently. It seems you have grown tired of living. Brother Xiao Yan, this man will become a future calamity. For the peace of the mountain and sea world, he must be eliminated. Shen Huang brought his fists together, releasing a powerful wave of killing intent. Shen Yuanzhu stood with his hands behind his back, dressed in an imperial dragon robe. He showed no fear whatsoever. Xiao Yan remained silent. He could not help either side. Shen Huang acted for the sake of the mountain and sea world, following its absolute law of survival. From his position, he was not wrong. Shen Yuanzhu had watched demonic beasts capture humans, raise them like livestock, and devour every powerful human who appeared. How could he not feel hatred? Both had their own positions, and neither was entirely wrong. Xuanhuang's fists remained tightly clenched. Xiao Yan believed a battle between them had become unavoidable. However, the expected clash did not occur. Forget it. You may leave. Shen Huang suddenly relaxed his fists and released a long sigh. For Brother Xiao Yan's sake, I will allow you to leave the mountain and sea world. This world possesses its own order. Someone like you cannot create much disturbance. However, should you leave and later return to cause chaos, do not blame me for showing no mercy. In Xuanhuang's eyes, Shen Yuanzhu was still incapable of becoming a true threat. I will not interfere with this dispute, Xiao Yan said seriously, cupping his hands. It belongs to the mountain and sea world. Brother Shen Huang should act according to his own judgment. Since each of you has your own position, I will not decide who is right or wrong. There is no problem, Brother Xiao Yan. This is a matter of cause and consequence belonging to the mountain and sea world. Shen Huang nodded. Take him away. Shen Yuanzhu still carried deep resentment in his heart, and his emotions had momentarily become unstable. Dragon King, had you remained silent, I might have said nothing. But do you understand what these creatures have done? Look at the countless resentful souls within the mirror realm. They were eaten alive. You speak of order. Then I also wish to establish an order for humanity within the mountain and sea world. What is wrong with that? As Shen Yuanzhu's words fell, countless resentful spirits gathered around him, releasing miserable and piercing wails. No one knew how long the mirror realm had existed or how many humans had been consumed there. The accumulated resentment was horrifyingly intense. Very well. Shen Huang looked toward Shen Yuanzhu. The mountain and sea world will await your return. If you become powerful enough, You may establish an order for humanity here. The dragon race did not interfere when the beings of the mirror realm hunted humans. Likewise, if you seek to establish your own order, I will not interfere. Shen Huang was not unreasonable. He could place himself in Shen Yuanju's position and understand his hatred. If I were you, I would probably do the same. There is nothing more to say. Thank you for understanding, Dragon King. Shen Yuanju cupped his hands. The two men had unexpectedly settled their disagreement through conversation. Neither remained consumed by anger, and both had come to understand the position of the other. Brother Shen Huang, I will take my leave. Shenxi's situation remains uncertain, and war has already become unavoidable. Xiao Yan bid Shen Huang farewell. You are the reincarnation of His Excellency, Brother Xiao Yan. Taishu is nothing worth fearing. I represent the dragon race when I say that we will certainly assist Shenxi. Xuanhuang's voice was solemn. The mountain and sea world has only recently regained stability. There is no need for you to worry too much, Brother Shen Huang. Shenxi possesses its own destiny. Xiao Yan was not merely being polite. He genuinely believed those words. Shenxi required unforeseen variables, but it could not rely upon the fortune of another world to resist Taishu. Ultimately, the people of Shenxi had to depend upon themselves. Only their own strength could be trusted. Everything else would merely provide additional support after the foundation had already been secured. If you require assistance, inform me at any time. I will never refuse. Shen Huang spoke sincerely. Xiao Yan nodded, cupped his hands, and prepared to leave. He activated the void traveling soul and brought Shen Yuanju into the 9 coffins. Brother Shen Huang, protect Long Yi. I raised him with my own hands. Those were Xiao Yan's final words before departing. Shen Huang nodded and accepted the responsibility. Within the western sea of the Shenxi world, countless enormous Taishu vessels floated through the void. Taishu appeared to have completely occupied the region, though its control was currently limited to the western void sea. Reporting to the Void Lord. Every passage leading to the other void regions has been sealed. All wormholes we created have been destroyed. The long-distance expeditionary forces suffered severe casualties. The Shenxi world was unimaginably vast. Without teleportation formations or enormous spatial wormholes, traveling across it would require an enormous amount of time. Continue searching for a way through, regardless of the cost. The Void Lord remained calm and unhurried. He could create Taishu warriors without breeding or reproduction. Powerful soldiers could be produced endlessly and sent onto the battlefield. The Shenxi warriors who died, however, were genuine living beings with souls. Since entering Shenxi, the Void Lord had never left his Void God vessel. He seemed unwilling to expose himself carelessly. He constantly asked about the object of chaos and about Su Anqing. Has he still failed to find a solution? The Void Lord asked. His Highness personally departed to scout the way, but no message has returned. Continue investigating. Kill as many as possible, regardless of the cost. Even if 100 of our warriors must die to kill one of theirs, the exchange remains worthwhile. The Void Lord intended to gradually exhaust the Shenxi Empress through such tactics. However, how long could this method truly continue? Breaking the deadlock was only a matter of time. Taishu's losses were easily replenished. Yet the Shenxi Empress should already understand this. Despite that, she continued delaying and refused to engage Taishu in a decisive confrontation. The Void Lord stroked his chin thoughtfully. There had to be another purpose behind her behavior. After entering Shenxi, she had continuously stalled for time and had never fought Taishu directly. His eyes suddenly narrowed. Could she be waiting for His Excellency to return? What difference will his return make? Lord Su gave a cold snort. The interior of the Void God vessel was austere and freezing, with only him seated silently at its center. Reports from the Western Sea Void arrived one after another, relentlessly striking at Taishu's seemingly indestructible plan of expansion. Passageways had been sealed, wormholes had collapsed, and the expeditionary forces had suffered devastating casualties. The Empress's strategy was like an invisible yet unbreakable net, temporarily trapping the vast Taishu army within the Western Sea Void. Yet the sovereign's refusal to confront them directly was highly unusual. Lord Su tapped the armrest with his fingertips, producing a series of dull, rhythmic sounds. Before him, a mysterious mass of chaos churned and rolled. He had always trusted it, and he had come to rely heavily upon its predictions. His gaze sharpened like a blade as it pierced through the swirling mist. If I fight the sovereign in Shenxi, what are my chances of victory? The chaotic mass began to surge violently. After a brief moment, a brilliant number formed entirely from pure energy appeared at the center of the mist. 90%. Lord Su was not pleased by the result. Instead, his brows drew together. Even after he has broken through to the 5th level, if my true body personally takes action, shouldn't my chances be absolute? With my strength, how could there still be a 10% chance of defeat? He muttered to himself, but he did not question the chaotic artifact's judgment. Had he doubted its accuracy, he would never have used it so frequently to predict the future and determine his next course of action. Calculate it again, Lord Su ordered. The chaotic mass began to churn once more. The answer did not appear immediately. Its light flickered, blurred, and finally condensed into another number. 80%. Lord Su's eyelid twitched. How could the result change so greatly in such a short time? Previously, the uncertainty had come from the sovereign's clone. If Xiao Yan had suddenly broken through and raised his cultivation, then what had caused this latest change? Could Xiao Yan have broken through again in the span of only a few moments? For the first time, doubt appeared in Lord Su's eyes. Has something gone wrong? Calculate it again. The chaotic artifact surged for a 3rd time. Lord Su's expression changed slightly. Using the artifact clearly demanded an enormous price, although it was impossible to tell exactly what was being consumed. 70%. Lord Su's eyelid trembled uncontrollably. This was clearly a result he could not accept. Impossible. He is only at the 5th level. What gives him a 30% chance of defeating me? Where could that possibility possibly come from? He clenched his fist and slammed it against the armrest. Although a 70% chance of victory was still high, the remaining 30% had planted fear in his heart. If he lost, the blow to Taishu would be fatal. If I sacrifice everything solely to defeat the sovereign, what will my chances be? Lord Su attempted to use the chaotic artifact again. It rolled several times before suddenly becoming still. His face immediately turned pale. The repeated calculations had consumed too much. Even someone as powerful as Lord Su found it difficult to endure. Predicting the workings of fate was an act of peering into heavenly secrets. Even an undying existence had to pay an unknown price for doing so. A messenger suddenly entered. Reporting to Lord Su. Under Prince Su Anqing's leadership, our forces have successfully entered the Eastern Fortune Void. Reinforcements are being gathered for a decisive advance. Our next objective is to sweep across the entire eastern region. Once it falls, Shenxi's defeat will become inevitable. Lord Su's expression remained gloomy. The chaotic artifact's prediction continued to weigh heavily upon him. He slowly tightened his fist. He had to find a way to eliminate that 30% possibility. He had to win. The sovereign had to die. He could not be allowed even the slightest chance to reverse the situation. Taishu had hunted the sovereign more than once, yet every attempt had ended in failure and tremendous losses. 2 jade slips appeared in Lord Su's hand. With a thought, he sent his voice through them. Shenxi's defeat is inevitable. This is the course of history. He waved his hand and issued his command. All Taishu forces are to prepare for a bloody war against Shenxi. Within the southern ridge void, space twisted violently as a figure slowly emerged. He surveyed his surroundings before a spatial vortex appeared in front of him. He stepped into it and disappeared. When Xiao Yan reappeared, he had arrived at the former location of the ancient divine hall. Although he could continuously travel through space, he could not sense the presence he was searching for. Just as he prepared to depart again, several approaching auras entered his perception. Junior brother, Her Majesty's predictions are as accurate as ever. She said you would appear here, and you truly did. 2 figures approached from the distance. They were Ran Chong and Yi Feiyu. Senior brother Ran Chong. Senior sister Yi Feiyu. It has been a long time. Xiao Yan smiled and cupped his fists toward them. It truly has been a long time, Ran Chong replied. Junior brother, the speed at which you grow stronger is astonishing. Ran Chong studied Xiao Yan and seemed to sense the profound changes within him. Xiao Yan also examined the two of them, raising his brows in surprise. You have both broken through as well. You have reached the third level of divine immortality, the 9 origin stage. When we first met, you were still battle gods. Everyone has become much stronger. All of it is for the battle to protect Shenxi, Ran Chong said solemnly. We are willing to risk everything and walk through fire for this world. Their rate of advancement had indeed been extraordinary. In addition to awakening memories from their past lives, they had received assistance from Shenxi's world will. Only through that support had they been able to progress so rapidly. Yet compared with Xiao Yan, their improvement still seemed slow. Is the Empress safe? Xiao Yan asked anxiously. While he had been in the immortal demon ancient realm, he had heard rumors that the Empress had disappeared. Come back with us first, junior brother. This is not a suitable place to speak. Ran Chong seemed about to explain, but Yi Feiyu quietly pulled him back. Xiao Yan's Wuwang realm soul power swept across both of them. After confirming that there was nothing unusual about them, he nodded. Very well. We will speak after returning. They soon arrived on the nearest star, where a teleportation array had been constructed. Are the other senior brothers safe? Xiao Yan asked as they approached the formation. He found it strange that none of the others had come to meet him. Senior brother Ku Yun's condition is unknown, Ran Chong answered heavily. He disappeared after a confrontation with Taishu. Although Ran Chong and Yi Feiyu had smiled when they found Xiao Yan, they could not conceal the heaviness in their hearts. The 3 divine lords were also badly injured and are recuperating in the ancient divine realm. Taishu's assaults are coming like an endless tide. They have already reached the eastern fortune void. The situation is extremely dangerous. As they spoke, the 3 of them activated the teleportation array. Brilliant light flashed around them before their figures vanished. It seems Shenxi's situation is far worse than I imagined. Xiao Yan frowned. You need not worry too much, junior brother, Yi Feiyu said. Everything remains part of the Empress's arrangements. They continued traveling through a sequence of teleportation arrays. Xiao Yan's Wuwang realm soul power soon detected that the space they had entered was highly unusual. It seemed to exist within a hidden interstitial layer, concealed inside an even deeper void. The ancient divine realm before him was familiar, yet the sight that greeted him felt entirely foreign. It had undergone a complete transformation. The last time he returned, the ancient divine realm had been overflowing with life. Now it seemed bleak and desolate. Xiao Yan did not dare to ask what had happened. Ran Chong and Yi Feiyu turned toward him. Junior brother, you should return to the Xiao residence first. All right. Xiao Yan cupped his fists. This return felt entirely different from every previous one. The entire ancient divine realm seemed shrouded in the aura of death. This was the inevitable result of war. Countless powerful cultivators had died while charging into battle. None of them had been alone. Every fallen warrior had friends and loved ones who would never see them again. The dead departed quickly. The pain remained with the living. War was merciless, but every living being had been forced to rise and fight in order to protect Shenxi and the world they called home. Xiao Yan appeared outside the Xiao residence. This time, no laughter or cheerful voices came from within. The silence caused an unfamiliar tension to rise in his heart. When he entered, the entire residence was quiet. The first person he saw was Zhen, dressed in a fitted gown. The moment she saw Xiao Yan, her delicate body trembled. Husband! Zhen hurried forward and threw herself into his arms. Her crying quickly echoed through the residence. What happened? Xiao Yan asked, immediately sensing that something was wrong. The entire fearless team has gone to the front line. News arrived recently that the Eastern Fortune Void they were guarding is under heavy attack. The situation is extremely dangerous. Zhen clung to him like a frightened kitten. She raised her tearful face, and Xiao Yan gently wiped the tears from her cheeks. Who is still in the Xiao residence? Xiao Yan forced himself to remain calm. Every member of the fearless team was worthy of its name. Once they chose to fight, none of them would feel even the slightest fear. Lang Tian, Lu Xiaolong, and Jing Wuchen are still here. Everyone else has gone to the front line. Xiao Yan detected a powerful medicinal fragrance in the air. Every medicine refining hall in the ancient divine realm was operating without rest, desperately producing pills to compensate for the enormous consumption of the war. I understand. Do not worry. They will be safe. Xiao Yan drew Zhan Ni into his arms. She had waited for him for so long, yet she had been powerless to do anything. After comforting her, Xiao Yan left the residence and went to the Thousand Mechanisms Pavilion. Ran Chong and Yi Feiyu were already waiting there. As expected, the Empress was nowhere to be seen. The pavilion's walls were covered with portraits of Xiao Yan. Ran Chong held a box in his arms. When Xiao Yan entered, he immediately stepped forward. Junior brother, Her Majesty left this behind. She ordered us to place it personally into your hands. Xiao Yan accepted the box with both hands and slowly opened it. Inside was a scroll and a jade slip. A gentle voice entered his mind. My dear Xiao Yan, you must walk the road ahead by yourself. This is the myriad gods' atlas that I prepared for you. Should you one day encounter mortal danger, it will lend you its power. Do not search for me. We will meet again. Xiao Yan's soul power swept across the exquisite jade object inside the wooden box. It contained 2 soul messages left by the Empress. Do you know where the Empress went? Xiao Yan asked. At that moment, Mei Lin slowly entered the Thousand Mechanisms Pavilion. A second figure followed behind him. It was Yun Yun. The jade slip left by Her Majesty did not explain where she went, Mei Lin said. She disappeared suddenly. Xiao Yan frowned slightly and cupped his fists toward Mei Lin. Yes, Ran Chong added. The Empress never told us she intended to leave. She only left this box and a note stating when and where junior brother would return. She also ordered us to make sure the box was personally handed to you. Ran Chong passed the Empress's note to Xiao Yan. The instant Xiao Yan read the information written upon it, he understood. The Empress had not been captured. She had relinquished control. She was telling Xiao Yan that, after his return, everything here would truly be placed in his hands. Who is currently directing the war? Xiao Yan asked. Since the Empress disappeared, we have discussed every important matter and made decisions together, Mei Lin replied. Now that you have returned, all decisions should naturally be made by you. Mei Lin stepped back and cupped his fists. The expressions in Ran Chong and Yi Feiyu's eyes also changed. We greet the sovereign. They no longer addressed Xiao Yan as their junior brother. Senior brothers, there is no need for this. I am not the sovereign. You may simply call me Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan firmly returned their salute. The burden had fallen upon him without warning. Everything had happened too suddenly. We would not dare, Mei Lin said. In the past, the Empress instructed us to address you as our junior brother. However, you were never truly our junior brother. You were once our master. Xiao Yan's pupils contracted. He had never known this. Without inheriting those memories, it was natural that the truth had remained hidden from him. That was 9 lifetimes ago. My name is Xiao Yan, and I am now the 9th-ranked junior brother. I am not the sovereign. His expression became solemn. This is not the time to argue over identities. I need to understand the current situation. The Empress had disappeared, and there was no time to waste. He had to obtain a clear picture of the war. The Eastern Fortune Void's outer defenses have been lost, Yi Feiyu reported. Reinforcements are already on their way, but Taishu is launching a massive offensive. We must stop them immediately. Once they fully enter the Eastern Fortune Void, they will rapidly seize its resources and turn it into another Western Sea Void. As she spoke, Yi Feiyu raised her hand. Light gathered before her and formed a star map of the Eastern Fortune Void. The connections between the various void regions were previously severed. Taishu spent a great deal of time searching for weaknesses before finally rebuilding a wormhole into the Eastern Fortune Void. How many powerful cultivators do we possess? Can we suppress them? Xiao Yan asked. We can, Mei Lin answered. However, Taishu also possesses many powerful experts. A direct confrontation will inevitably cause enormous casualties. While the Empress was here, she avoided battle whenever possible. He paused before continuing. In truth, Shenxi possesses greater military strength than most imagine. In addition, there are 50,000 divine immortality experts whom you brought from the immortal demon ancient realm. They have been preparing for battle and are more than sufficient to suppress the invading forces. Mei Lin looked directly at Xiao Yan. His eyes burned with a fierce desire to fight. Then we fight. Xiao Yan's voice was firm. The Empress avoided battle to buy time. Even though I am still not powerful enough, we cannot continue retreating. We cannot surrender another step. If the eastern region falls, countless living beings will once again be slaughtered. No matter the cost, we must defend it. Since he had returned and the Empress had entrusted everything to him, he could not hesitate. Every decision had to be made swiftly and decisively. However, this is still Shenxi's territory. We must find a way to confront Taishu while minimizing our own sacrifices. Mei Lin's eyes lit up when he heard that Xiao Yan was willing to fight. Taishu believes Shenxi is weak, Xiao Yan continued. We do not need an overly complicated strategy. The best course is to allow them to enter a prepared trap and then seal every path of escape. He looked at the star map. Most Taishu soldiers possess no true souls. Killing those empty warriors alone is meaningless. We must use them as bait to draw out their most important figures. Every gaze within the 1,000 Mechanisms Pavilion gathered upon Xiao Yan. Although Shenxi had clashed with Taishu countless times, those previous battles had involved only a tiny fraction of their overall strength. This would be a true war. Senior brothers and senior sister, based on everything we currently know about Taishu, if Shenxi commits all of its strength to a decisive battle, do we have a chance of victory? Xiao Yan knew that the Empress's avoidance of battle had not merely been intended to buy time. She must have possessed other concerns. The situation could not be as simple as it appeared. It is difficult to say, Mei Lin replied, shaking his head. To be precise, it is impossible to determine. There are too many unpredictable factors. Lord Su personally commands Taishu, and his true strength remains unknown. Shenxi lacks someone capable of confronting him. Does Shenxi possess any experts at the 6th level, the other heaven realm? Xiao Yan knew the question might be unnecessary, but he still wanted confirmation. 6th level experts are exceedingly rare, but we know that they exist, Mei Lin answered. As for the 7th level, the heavenless realm, I have never personally heard of anyone reaching it. However, rumors claim that Lord Su is a 7th level expert. No one knows whether those rumors are true. He considered the matter before continuing. We have never heard of such an existence within Shenxi. However, the immortal demon ancient realm has Yi Baiming, while the 9 heavens divine realm has Hua Kan. Their strength is unquestionable. It is impossible that they are merely at the 6th level. They are most likely suppressing their true cultivation. Could Shenxi also possess such hidden existences? Xiao Yan asked. The enemy may be powerful, but we no longer have any path of retreat, he continued. There is no need to be overly afraid. Even if Lord Su truly has reached the 7th level, he cannot oppose an entire world by himself. More important than individual strength is the united will of every living being. His words were intended to inspire them, but confidence could determine victory or defeat on the battlefield. A heart that believed in victory was essential. There is no time to lose. We will depart for the Eastern Fortune Void immediately. We must prevent Taishu from advancing further. Xiao Yan studied the star map. The Western Sea Void was the first gate. The Eastern Fortune Void is the second, and it contains immense resources. If Taishu consumes those resources and transforms them into military strength, Shenxi's situation will only become increasingly difficult. He turned toward Ran Chong. Are the 50,000 experts from the immortal demon ancient realm available? They are still within the ancient divine realm, Ran Chong answered. They have neither left nor participated in the war. The Empress said they could not be mobilized before your return, Yi Feiyu added. Xiao Yan nodded and looked at the three of them, including Yun Yun. His Wuwang realm soul power descended and enveloped the entire pavilion. Senior brothers, senior sister, are you hiding anything from me? Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes. What do you mean, master? Mei Lin asked solemnly. Xiao Yan's gaze passed over them, carrying tremendous pressure. Yun Yun's heart began to pound. She felt as though an invisible force were pressing against her chest, making it difficult to breathe. Did the Empress ever investigate whether Taishu had infiltrated Shenxi? Xiao Yan asked. Are there spies planted within the ancient divine realm? A war of this scale involved too many people and too many secrets. If Shenxi's every movement was known to the enemy, they would remain trapped in a passive position, and the situation would only become more dangerous. The Empress conducted an investigation, Mei Lin replied. She discovered several suspicious individuals, but they were all expelled from the ancient divine realm. Should we conduct another large-scale investigation? Ran Chong asked. No. Doing so would only alert the enemy. Xiao Yan shook his head. What we need to do is send our own agents to gather information about Taishu. If we can learn their next move in advance, we can arrange our defenses accordingly. He was not overly concerned by the possibility of hidden spies. I will leave for the Eastern Fortune Void immediately. Senior brother Mei Lin, senior brother Ran Chong, and senior sister Yi Feiyu, you must remain within the ancient divine realm at all times. He looked at them seriously. The 50,000 experts from the immortal demon ancient realm must remain here as well. Closely observe the northern nether void and the southern ridge void. Taishu was cunning. Xiao Yan feared that the attack on the eastern fortune void might be only a diversion. The situation felt far too simple. He was certain that unseen undercurrents were already gathering beyond their perception. Will you travel alone, master? Ran Chong asked. Xiao Yan nodded. It is the only way I can reach the battlefield quickly through the void shift soul. The entire fearless team was on the front line. The thought filled Xiao Yan with unease. Protect the ancient divine realm. If anything happens, inform me immediately. Neither the southern ridge void nor the northern nether void can be allowed to fall. Yes, master. The three of them cupped their fists at the same time. Yun Yun remained standing in place, staring at Xiao Yan in astonishment. She had naturally heard about his identity. The sovereign's reincarnation was no longer a secret. Xiao Yan waved his sleeve. The void shift soul tore open a spatial rift before him. He stepped through it and disappeared instantly. Broken fragments of space glittered like billions of razor-sharp pieces of glass beneath the distorted light, radiating a cold and ominous glow. This was one of the void seas within the eastern fortune void. A dense aura of slaughter filled the region. A massive spatial rift stood vertically at the center of the void sea. Countless points of light poured out from it. From a distance, they resembled a stream of black ink spreading through a clear lake. Only upon closer inspection could one see that the darkness was formed by innumerable Taishu soldiers. Together, they created a suffocating black tide. Across from them, Shenxi's forces had already formed their battle lines. Countless Shenxi cultivators wore armor of various colors. Their formations were orderly and disciplined, creating a vast defensive wall across the void sea. Hold the line. Suppress them from a distance. Do not allow them to approach. A powerful voice thundered across the battlefield. The command had come from Shen Qijuan. His face was slightly pale, and his wounds had clearly not fully healed. Even so, he had been forced to take command of the front line. Countless flying swords and cold beams of light surged outward. Dazzling radiance flashed wildly across the void sea. The Taishu soldiers charged into the attacks like moths flying into a flame. They had no fear of death and appeared incapable of feeling pain. The warriors in front were instantly torn apart, but those behind them showed no hesitation. They continued advancing, using their bodies and blood to endure Shenxi's attacks until they finally broke through the defensive line. The instant they entered Shenxi's formations, savage close-quarters combat erupted. Taishu was the attacking force, while Shenxi held the defensive advantage. The invaders suffered far greater losses. Shenxi's forces had prepared in advance, and vast numbers of Taishu soldiers were slaughtered. Blood mist and fragments of flesh filled the void sea. Among the countless figures on Shenxi's side stood several cultivators who watched the battlefield with intense focus. They specifically targeted enemies who managed to break through the line, restraining and killing them as quickly as possible. One figure charged directly through the enemy ranks with overwhelming force, while another moved beside him at astonishing speed. Their coordination was flawless. Even amid the chaotic battle, they used limited strength to achieve devastating results. A blood-covered figure stood among them, his eyes burning with boundless fighting spirit. It was Xiao, who had remained silent within the ancient divine realm for so many years. Xiao, do not stop. More of them are coming. Nan Erming, hold them back. The voices of the fearless team echoed across the battlefield. Every one of them was present. Although their cultivation was not among the highest, they had not made a single mistake throughout the battle. Within the vast current of war, they might not have appeared remarkable, but every great river was formed from countless individual streams. Regardless of whether they were strong or weak, every one of them influenced the outcome of the war.